Roman Travers. Magic Talk.
Harold Hillman is a life coach and a thoroughly lovely chap, and he's here with me in the studio from the Sigmoid Curve Consulting Group. Hello.
Hello, Roman.
Where have you been?
What a week I had.
Yeah.
I was in Wellington twice. I was in Hamilton on Tuesday evening. I was in Masterton on Thursday.
Well, you lost.
No, and then I was in Palmerston North on Friday. It was like I traveled the country.
Sheepers. Have you got a Harold Hillman helicopter?
No, not at all. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Wow. Well, you've certainly seen a lot of the country, as have I in Otago through the week. And I was asking myself, have I found my why? Not YMCA. Have I found my why, my purpose? And I'm intrigued about this because does everybody find it?
Well, there's Abraham Maslow was a famous psychologist back in the 1940s, and he introduced what he called the hierarchy of needs for human beings. And it starts with sort of physiological needs in terms of safety and well-being and those types of things, and then evolves into a point that at a certain point in our life, usually in the 40s, in our 40s, we sort of land on a bigger sense of purpose in terms of what we want to contribute. Maslow referred to that as self-actualization. It is Simon Sinek in probably what is the most watched TED Talk around the Golden Circle suggests that if you really want to have maximum impact in life, not only in terms of what you do, but more importantly, how you are connected with a sense of doing something important, that you should really focus on your why. There's the golden circle is, think of three concentric circles. The outer circle is your what, the middle circle is your how, and the inner circle is your why. And what Sinek suggests in his TED Talk is that a lot of us actually start with our what, usually in our 20s or so, when we are taking on a new role, starting a job, maybe going into accounting because everybody in your family has. But then you arrive into your 40s, and by then you have a good sense of who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, those kinds of things. And that it used to be called the midlife crisis, Roman. It's like when somebody leaves a high-paying corporate job to go run a vineyard. A friend of mine did that.
Yeah.
And
the accountant that leaves work to become a stripper. That kind of, yeah, well, just putting it out there.
Absolutely.
I tell you now, if I was an accountant, I'd want to become a stripper, honestly. So is the finding your why, is that a new thing in business so much, or has it been more sort of an airy-fairy topic outside of work?
It resonates more in 2019 than perhaps it did 2 decades ago, particularly with the advent of emotional intelligence and the fact that you're more engaged with your work if you're doing something that you think is meaningful. So it's not just about a paycheck. It may be about, getting yourself aligned around social causes like fighting poverty or abuse, issues around sustainability. I have friends who choose what they do based on their belief that we should be making the planet more sustainable across time, or building a healthier society, helping to bring the best out of people. You typically back into your why at some point, and it will inform then choices that you make around jobs.
So
how you spend your time.
I'm reading between the lines here a little bit. So sometimes you're not actually going looking for your why. Does it just evolve over time and become more prevalent in your own eyes with experience in life?
It does. This self-awareness tends to kick in a little bit later in life after you've had, you've gone through bumps and bruises and ups and downs and experiences, and you just tend to know yourself a little bit more. I backed into my why. Because I spent the first 4 decades of my life as a closeted gay man, and where I was afraid to connect with other people around who I was. And so after coming out and experiencing true connection, it really sort of resonated with me that my own personal why was associated with helping people be themselves and lead and live happier, healthier lives. And it really, when I'm in that zone, people can actually feel it. And so my what, where it used to be very broad, is now much more focused around just making sure that in work cultures, with leaders who make it easy for people to bring perspective and bring their whole selves to life.
So if someone's
work.
listening to this going, gosh, I'm heading into my 40s and I am an accountant and I'm going to become a stripper, what should they do before they make any leap into a new career?
Well, probably make sure you lose a little bit of weight.
And buy some Lycra.
But it is what I would just say is we've talked about this before in terms of Bronnie Ware's book, The Regrets, the Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. She was a palliative care nurse and interviewed thousands of patients basically and came out with these 5 themes that basically say on our deathbed, we often regret that we did not live our lives fully around something that we really believed in. And so it's a matter of making sure that you start early. And so people really do. I have a good friend who was an attorney for 3 decades, and then she just realized that her passion was art. And she had been an artist in her teen years. And she's opened an art studio, which is like where her contribution is more around something that she feels passionate about as opposed to just a job or status. And so what I would say is, Roman, if for people who are making life corrections in their 40s or 50s, give them a little bit of latitude because it's probably associated with a deeper sense of purpose.
Is it shallow of me to say that the reason why most of us don't chase our dreams and find that why, even if we've found it, we don't chase it because we've got too many bloody bills?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It is that is the case. Most of us for those of us who are not independently wealthy, we need to work. And the reality is that you spend a lot of time at work. And if work is not something that you're passionate about, that can be a big drain on your psyche and, just your overall well-being. So it really is important if you are moving from being an accountant to doing something different. Make sure that it's attached to what you believe taps into your inherent strengths, something that you're passionate about, which aligns with your values, and really just resonates. People will feel your why. They sometimes can't feel your what, but they can feel your why.
Harold Hillman is from the Sigmoid Curve Consulting Group. How would you help someone in the work that you do? How would you help them find that?
It's a matter of going deep. And so that is a time for introspection and reflection, particularly for someone who feels a little bored, maybe bored. Boredom is one of the top stressors in life. A lot of people don't realize that. Or a person who is just feeling frustrated. It probably is a time to go deep and think about what really enables me to unleash my passion. What is that? And then begin to, make adjustments and move yourself in that direction of doing something that you really love.
Let's be honest, though. How many people actually go, oh, my God, it's Monday morning. I can't wait to go to work. Realistically, we do a job because we're good at it and it pays well and, and then you wake up dead and wish you'd done something completely different with your life.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. Look, I admire my friends. My decision to come to work with Fonterra in 2003 was because it was the idea of this company that would have such intricate impact on the economic viability of a nation. That was bigger than anything I'd ever done in my career before. And it pulled me from New York to New Zealand because I wanted to be part of something that had bigger impact on the lives of people.
So if people now want to get you involved with their workplace, how would they find you?
I'm at www.sigmoidcurve.com.
Nice. Harold, always good to catch up. Have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you, Roman.